And good morning from beautiful Waynesville, North Carolina. David Crompton with head coach of Tuscola Mountaineers, Jonathan Crompton. And as always, today from Studio B in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, Mr. Chuck Fieberneitz. Good morning, guys. How you doing?
Doing well.
Okay. Hey, let me do something before we get started in talking about the ball games, if you two will indulge me. Okay. I just got something. Listen. I got to be honest about my situation last night. I just want to. I owe, and I'm being very sincere when I say this. Let me put my iPad down, and I lost perspective of what a high school football game is last night, and I acted totally out of character for about 15 to 15 seconds last night, and I need to apologize to you, Jonathan, as the head football coach of Tuscola. I need to apologize to our principal. I need to apologize to you, Chuck, and to our community, and to our sponsors, and to anybody that's dealing with anything that we got going on. I really, really, really apologize. I lost my composure when I was trying to go to the restroom. I usually sit there with my legs crossed and very quiet during the game, and just should not have taken a trip to the bathroom before halftime. So I apologize to everyone, because that's not the way we're supposed to be, and I did not represent me, my family, our program, our principal, our school well for that short period of time. And I'm the guy that goes around and tells folks, words matter. You can't say anything you want. Be kind when you're supposed to be kind. And I was really wrong. And I said something that I should not have said. I said it loudly, and kids heard me. The kids on the field heard me. The people in the stands heard me. And I will never, ever do it again, because I'm not going to lose perspective. I learned a big lesson. At 61, you can still learn lessons. I was wrong. So I want to get that out of the way before we get going. And son, I owe you an apology, because I did not represent you and your program for that one period of time like you're supposed to. And
all good.
No, it's not all good. So anyway, get that out of the way. Welcome. It's hey, look, good, bad, or indifferent. Welcome to the show. Tough night last night in Franklin, North Carolina, and kind of got a little beat up going into the game, and I think you kind of knew that for the last 3 weeks, but we didn't heal up that much from Swain, and had some kids playing out of position. Had Jonas had to step in at quarterback and played his guts out. And I had some kids in the offensive line that had never played there. Had to have some kids on the defensive line. You guys had a lot of personnel sitting on the sidelines last night. But that's not an excuse. You got to go play. So anyway, I've talked enough. Throw it over to you, a little overview, and Chuck and I'll ask our questions. And again, Chuck, I apologize for speaking so much this morning, but I had to get that off my chest, because that was totally inappropriate. So,
what is your overview of the game?
Talk about last night.
Let's do it.
All right, Chucky, throwing it to you, and we'll get going about Franklin.
Well, it was a makeshift. Lineup, and just a kind of overview of going in, what you were expecting, and how it all played out on the game. By the way, everybody get your little Orchard coffee. But I will say this: it's one of those mornings where you gotta fill up the big boy.
I'm with you on that one.
So
I'm with you on that one.
And our friends up at Orchard Coffee, and our friends up at Sutton and Sons, they're drinking Orchard Coffee, and I'm headed to Sutton's and Sons as soon as I'm done here today. I'm going to get that NFL board and bring it back and show it off to you. But
right.
Go ahead, ask some questions. Sorry.
All right. Jonathan, overview of last night. You didn't put out your best lineup because you had kids sitting on the sidelines. But what a great response out of your kids because they played hard and just you had to do what you had to do.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've said it before. One, I've never met a good coach that talks injuries. You know what I mean? And we'll never talk injuries with specifics and specific kids. But the most healthy day you'll ever have is August 1st. So everybody battles injuries, everybody battles fatigue and all that stuff at this point of the year. So, for where we're at and at the moment, I think the kids battled their butts off. I told them after the game, well, the thing I give them the most credit for is they didn't quit. We're not going to quit. We're going to win with class. We're going to lose a class regardless. So that's kind of where it was last night. Everybody knows what Franklin's game plan, excuse me, typically is against anybody they play because they're the old school pound and ground smash mouth football. They snap the ball late in the play clock. So obviously that goes against a team like us that is fast paced, high powered, that type of stuff. So then, obviously we knew our backs were against the wall in that sense already. But the kids, I mean, like I said, they battled their butts off, honestly, on all sides of the ball. We'll go back to the drawing board this morning. Got to give Franklin credit for what they did schematically and being able to come out and execute their game plan and run counter and ISO and bootleg waggle out into the flats. And, they did it effectively.
And one of the things we got to, again, we're not going to, this is not, even on the Saturday shows with the colleges, on the Sunday shows, we're not going to, talk about kids as far, but, we got to figure a way to get off the field on third downs. And that's, as a whole. And that's something that I know we're going to get better at. Got to get off the field on third downs, third and longs. Keeps you guys the other side of the ball off the field, and just again, a lot of young kids that I didn't get to sneak up and I didn't get to go to the bank and sneak up and watch any of the practice in the last 2 weeks. And I don't know what I'm watching when I go up there anyway. I just see y'all running around. So my scouting report is pretty poor these days. But got to get off the field, and to me, that's the biggest thing that I see in the last couple of weeks is just that.
Well, I mean, obviously we got to get off the field on third down, but we got to stay on the field we got to stay out of third and long on offense. That's the name of the game. They call it the money down for a reason. That's where you make your money, so to speak, staying on the field or getting off the field. So we got to collectively, we just, that's part of it. We got to go back to the drawing board and make sure we're executing properly with what we have implemented.
Jonathan, as a coach and as coaching staff, how do you improve on the money down, both sides of the football? How do you improve the kids on the money down?
Good question.
I mean, putting them in a good situation, understanding certain times. I mean, they call them, in the NFL, you got your third down back. Well, why do you have your third down tailback? Because he's fresh, right?
Right.
Why do you have a third down pass rush? Because they're fresh. So we've got to – that's stuff that most high school teams struggle with in that sense because you don't have 55 guys or 53 on the game day roster, you know what I mean, with the practice squad allotment, whatever that is now, that you can call up on game day and rotate guys in all the time. Most of the time, a lot of your guys play both ways. So it's more so about just making sure we keep them as fresh as we can, keep them as healthy as you can. Once again, like I said, August 1st will be your most healthy day. So it's a process. Like I said, we got to make sure we fundamentally execute. You know what I mean? Like it's one of the I'm trying to think how to say it properly. When the lights come on, can't get big eyed, and our kids don't, but just got to go with the fundamentals, and it got to be as healthy as possible. So it's and I know a lot of teams don't get to go two platoons, but that's the big way to do it.
Coming out of the open day, having the 2 weeks to prepare for Franklin, but yet having more time not to prepare what Franklin's going to do, is you've made personnel changes due to injuries and performance, whatever the reason may be. You had changed some personnel. So what was the mindset that you thought your kids were going into that game?
Oh, I mean, we had a good mindset. They did. They knew what we were doing. Bye week until the end of football and all the way back. Bye weeks are focused on yourself, and your team. Making sure you're fundamentally sound. You don't practice all 5 days, so bye weeks are good to try to get as healthy as possible. Right? Go back to the basics, the fundamentals on offense, defense, and special teams. So the bye week's a good week to, like I said, to try to heal up. But going into the game, I mean, everybody knew what we were doing on our team. We had a good mindset. Franklin's a tough place to play. Let's just call it like it is. It's always going to be that way. Always has been, always will be. Right off the bat, you're negative minimum 45 yards in penalties, automatic. Everybody, that's not a secret. Everybody knows that. But that's just, you got to take it in stride and go when you're playing there. Right? Something's going to happen at some point after a big play, so you just got to kind of take it in stride and kind of roll with the punches when you play there and overcome adversity. And they did a better job than we did last night. We'll say it that way.
So overall, that's what your mindset was going into the game. As the game unfolded, did your kids change, or it was just the fact that Franklin, emotionally charged, took over that football game?
I've watched the film. I mean, I didn't get home till 2:00, something like that last night. Right at it. I don't know exactly. So it's one of those that made sure we watched at least I know a couple guys did, but I'd stayed up at the office and watched it. And like I said, I don't think it's more they just took over the game. At a certain point, I think our guys just kind of got more wore out because we've got to.
We didn't have many bodies,
we got to do a better job as a coaching staff trusting other players, trusting the guys that are the younger kids as well, and that comes in due time, and they all understand that. They, like I say, they come to practice every day, everybody ready to work. So I just think, bottom line, I just think it wasn't our night. And that's it's never what you want to hear or say. But I can tell you this, our kids didn't quit. They know that, once again, we're going to win a class, we're going to lose a class, and give Franklin credit where it was due.
Excellent. And moving forward, because I know with the HIPAA and all those things, there's certain things now that you really can't talk about. And all the joking aside, this is not the CIA thing, because your sister is she's like the HR person, and I know that there's certain things that you are not allowed to say. But are we headed towards being any healthier next week?
And I'm not, and I know y'all joke about it.
No, this is serious.
I know that. I know y'all joke about it. That's something I'll never talk about. I'll never talk about injuries or anything like that, because there's no strategic advantage for when people watch or anything like that. No decent coach. I actually saw a thing from Jason Swain this morning on the way in, and he was, I guess people in Tennessee are getting on guys about the same thing, injuries. He goes, no coach will ever talk about injuries, and never have, they never will, because and also health of your team. There's no advantage, strategic advantage, because then your opponents understand what's going on. Okay. So that's something
fair.
Yeah, that's something I'll never talk about. So we can laugh and joke about it, but you'll never get an injury update out of me.
No, that's fair. But that's also in this form. got to ask.
Well, but at a certain point, because I'm going to give you the same answer every time, and I'm not being rude about that. I told our kids last night, my job is to protect our kids, right? Good, bad, and different. People can say what they want, but I will never say anything that's going to put our kids in a bad situation when it comes to or a disadvantaged situation because of something I say about an injury or what we're going to do with our program.
It seemed from a fan's perspective, looking at the game, that it was a much better Tuscola team in the second half than it was in the first half. What was the message at halftime that you gave your football team?
We got to dig deep. I mean, you're behind the eight ball, and we got to find a way to go. And I told them, I said, guys, I'm an emotionally charged individual. Everybody knows that. I mean, it's just what it is. I'm not going to apologize for that. But when I get told before the game, if I open my mouth, I'll get thrown out because we're at Franklin, then I can't say anything. I said, guys, I can't get you riled up tonight. We gotta find something within ourselves internally because I can't be the one doing running around and having a good time because it's just what you get when you play at Franklin. And everybody knows that. Like I said, that's not a secret. So that I think kind of clicked in them because we came out and we did play a lot better. Defense bowed their neck in the second half. Offense started moving the ball, and obviously we had a couple untimely mistakes, but when called upon, defense did respond.
I have a follow-up question. Who told you before the game about?
Never.
Huh? You can't tell me who?
I'm just not gonna.
Okay.
I can tell you off air, but I won't do it. I'm not gonna get into the unprofessionalism of that side.
Got
Say
it
it that way.
Yeah.
Well, understand. Can make the assumption.
Oh no, I'm with you. No, I'm with you. I don't want you to think I'm being rude to you, Chuck. It's just we could go for hours on the unprofessionalism of that whole ordeal. And it's not just them last night, it's in general. I don't feel like getting into it. In the moment, we'll say it that way. Obviously, you know me, there are times and places that I will. It's just this morning is probably not the right time.
I get you, and you never worry about me. I'm good, and I understand what you're doing. So here, Friday night, underneath the lights in Macon County, a place where I'm banned and can't go into.
And that's not funny. That's not funny, and it's not a joke.
It's not funny. It's just caught me off guard. To be honest with you.
Did they think you were me? I mean,
there's a chance.
I'm telling you.
There's a chance.
Okay, so it doesn't work out according to plan, and you lose the football game. Where do you go from here, Jonathan? You're taking your injuries, you're taking your performance, you're taking your kids' psychic, and now you got to go play next week and get them ready. But where's your team? Where do you go from here as a coaching staff?
It's another day. Back to square one like we do every Saturday morning. Before we started, I was over here on the game plan stuff. So we're already back into that mode. North Henderson's this next week and homecoming for the schools. So, that'll be fun for that and have the festivities and all that stuff. But, it's just back to square one like normal. It's a normal Saturday for us. Like I told the kids last night, sleep on it, dwell on it, wake up, it's over, move on, refocus, re-engage, and attack.
Yeah, that's looking for.
So it is homecoming next week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh,
you should keep me in the loop at least that much.
Yeah. I don't know if it's. I pointed like it said there. I have no idea if it did. I'm not gonna lie. I really pointed like it said something on that. I have no idea.
But real quick, I want to thank our sponsors. Crompton's Auto Mart, 1256 Delwood Road. We want to thank our friends up at Orchard Coffee, and Chuck literally has not a cup, not a flask, but a whole.
He's got the whole
whole
thing.
jug full of coffee. you got to visit our friends at Orchard Coffee and Sutton's and Sons Antiques, who are this family is probably one of the biggest supporters, if not the biggest supporter of our program of anybody in this county, and we're proud to have them on. Mm-hmm. And oh, real quick, if you go to CromptonAuto.com, I've spent the last 7 days. We've switched. Go see our new website. Go see our new inventory. I think I've got like 50 sitting out here right now, and we got more on the way next week. So give us a chance. Good credit, bad credit, no credit. So I had to get that out of the way. And today,
by the way,
say what? You cut out
by
again.
the way, I said, well, I stopped. I mean, by the way, that is Blue Ridge. People are talking, maybe wondering. Again, they got several brands at Orchard Coffee. El Diamante, the Reds, is on my list to get next. So this is Blue Ridge.
And it's all hand roasted up there on site. But today's a big day at CE Weatherby as the Waynesville youth take on Bethel in the last home game of the year. And you're never too young to understand who you're playing.
Yeah.
You're never too young to understand who you're playing. The gates open at 3, kickoff is at 4. So everybody make their way out there and support these young kids who are going to come up and play on the Friday night lights for the Mountaineers. It's important that you do that. We've got a special thing that we're going to have on our show Tuesday night. Before we talk about North Henderson, I'm just trying to get some stuff out of the way.
Man, I'm just here for the party.
We're going to talk about there's the bonfire that's going to happen before in 3 weeks. We got a special guest to talk about that and the parade that goes through Hazelwood with the team and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of good positive things happening. And before we switch over to North Henderson mode, I think the thing that for me, and I, we joke about, people ask me, what's he saying? And we don't talk a lot about it.
I don't tell anybody.
I got my stuff and you got your stuff, and we'll probably talk, if you're driving home, you'll call and check on your mom and I, but you knew coming in that it's not a rebuild. God, no, that's not even the word I'm using, but it was a change. It was a change for the kids. It's a change again, you've gone from Greek to English, or however you want to say it, with the language and the terminology and the style and all that. And they've done a great job, but it's still a work in progress, and just got to get better every day, because you don't build the building from the top. Mm-hmm. You start at the foundation. And I still believe in my heart that you guys are still laying that foundation for the future. But anyway, North Henderson, Coach Beatty, and my friend, I remember him at TC Robertson. Got to know him well when he was the offensive line coach at Mars Hill. Just a phenomenal coach. Does a great job with position-wise up front with his guys up front. They're going to be well coached. They're going to play hard. So we got North Henderson coming to CE Weatherby on homecoming.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
it is 8:23 on a Saturday. I haven't got their film yet. Well, I mean, I say that. I have my ways. I do have some film, but we have not exchanged film yet. I mean, North Henderson's. I mean, they're a good team. They are. It's
vastly improved.
Every team in our conference is a good team. Let's just call it like it is. It's just the biggest thing is we know as well as anybody, if we show up and play our game with our guys, we always have a chance. It's just a matter of we got to focus on us at this moment.
Right. So the Knights come in after now they have dropped 2 straight. Losing last night to Smoky Mountain 20-14. And, You got plenty of season ahead of you, and quite frankly, was there a message to you, Jonathan, that hey guys, we're not out of the picture for winning the conference? Was there
Well,
that kind of
no, yeah, we're not out of it until they say we're out of it. You know what I mean?
right?
Everything that we want to accomplish is still in front of us. Everybody has still got to get into their quote unquote gauntlet, still ahead. So all we got to do is focus on ourselves, make sure we kind of put our blinders on and go play our game. That goes for every week. Doesn't matter who we're playing, home or away. So that's kind of where we're at the moment. Like I said, I mean, we'll finish the exchange with North Henderson for the film here in just a little bit and make sure that we go on our normal routine at that point, and then kind of know more. We'll know more because our game plan will be 95% in this afternoon. There's always stuff we'll tweak during the week. But it's just, we got to get to that point today. It's just, I haven't got that far as exchange, just waiting on the return.
Does North Henderson have a JV team?
Yes.
So while you have the luxury of, your staff of looking at the whole picture, what comes down the pipeline, you're looking years ahead and next season and development of kids. Take a moment to talk about where your JV football team is at in their progression.
Oh, I mean, I don't think you can say enough about them, guys. I don't think a lot of people really understand the terminology difference that we use with our offense. The formations and just the verbiage with how everything's pieced together. It is not a high school or middle school deal. So for the ninth graders and then our 10th graders that are on JV that were ninth graders last year that have also never heard it, they've done a tremendous job. If you watch them and they play fast, they play hard. Obviously, there's always technique and fundamental stuff you can improve on. But if there's something I can say is, I got our guys, our JV team's they're going to fight and claw till the end, regardless. And that's good. That's good for us to see, fun for us to watch, and see the future of our program being in good hands with some young kids that like I tell them every week, take it personal within yourself to be the best player you can be, to challenge yourself the most, more than anybody can challenge you. And I think our JV team does that they do a really good job of that.
This is being a homecoming week for you guys. It is a different type of week. How do you talk about it, or you say nothing about it? How do you approach this week and trying to keep you guys narrowly focused on the opponent coming up Friday night?
Just another week for us, football wise, right? When during school, man, be your kid, be your normal self, enjoy the festivities. But as soon as school's over, we're on to football, right? Or when we go to football weights, we're on to football. Outside of that, go be a kid,
right?
I mean, go enjoy the festivities, dress up for the day that it is, and that type of stuff. Just honestly, be a kid. But when it's time to go to football or your respective sport, depending on whatever sport it is, it's time to lock in and go to that sport.
Right. That's good. So we don't know about the opponent as far as breakdown for game plan and everything, although you got 90% of it in, and you wouldn't tell us that. The conference-wise, and when you're moving forward, are you going to be making some changes, or are you going to keep things rolling the same way for the following weeks to the end of the season?
No, I mean that only time will tell. I don't have an answer to that at the moment. Got to see how banged up guys are when we get in on Monday and kind of go from there. But I do like the fact, like I said, we've got a lot of guys that we can rely on and trust. We just got to do a better job of trusting them in that said moment to put them in and make sure that we do have enough guys that I think can play, that we need to put in a situation to give them a chance. to go, and that's on me being the head coach. And that's, that's fine because we'll make sure we adjust and do a better job of that, and trying to keep as many guys fresh and quote unquote healthy for the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, meaning not tired, as we can, to help in situations that are needed.
Talk about Friday night's game, about the kid that stepped in a big game, Jonas Howard, and doing what he did. Because that's a difficult thing. You understand that. I would bring up a much bigger stage, but your performance was fantastic against LSU.
Well, it's never an easy deal when you have to step into that role at the spur of the moment type deal. But I think he did a tremendous job with what he was asked to do. Honestly, he ran the piss out of the ball, right? So I guess everybody can kind of figure out we found a wildcat package. I don't think that's hard to tell, in a positive light, because he played his guts out. I mean,
he certainly did.
I mean, and that's what I was telling him on the sideline. Don't you ever hang your head. I mean, because he comes to coach, I got nothing left. I know. You played. Hey, you can say what you want to start. You played your ass off. Sorry for the language. That's just point blank. That's just what it is, because he did. 4th and 1. Man, I put Brian Mitra in the game at tailback. He is an offensive line, defensive line. I said, hey, bud, you never been in this position. We're backed up 4th and 1. We're going to go inside zone up the middle. Just find the first guy you see and hit him. And we break it for 70-something yards on 4th and 1. That's what I'm saying about our team, guys. That was a makeshift personnel late in the game to try to just spark something, because it's 4th and 1. We had to go for it. Put a lineman at tailback, 2 tight ends in the game, and we don't really have that personnel. If somebody says they have the personnel, I need to pick their brain that says, we're putting a lineman at tailback. You know what I mean? Like, just –
well, the fridge is down and it's sitting. He's down there at about 500 pounds right now, eating him a cheeseburger this morning.
It's funny.
Going, don't forget about me.
No, it's funny. I'm looking down the sideline and scanning so quick, and I get on the headset. I just need a big body right now. And they said, I said, find me a big body. And so Brian got caught up and said, hey, man, you're going to tailback. And he kind of looked at him and said, just go right up, line up on Jones's right, go straight ahead, hit the first thing you can see, block for him. It's 4th and 1. That's what our team is, guys. They buy in for each other. They're unselfish in that sense. And that's what I was telling them. Don't let your individual statistic get in the way of the ultimate goal. And they know that.
Right.
So that's, I guess what I'm getting at is, it's very hard to ever win, lose, or draw, especially at this level, to ever say our kids didn't play hard, because I promise you, if there's one thing our kids are going to do, they're going to play hard and they're going to battle till the end, because some of these kids, it's almost like you have to beat them with a baseball bat to get them off that field.
Right.
And that is, as a coach, that's one of the best things you could ever see.
Yeah. And let me compliment Chuck and I'm gonna call you coach on here, but you're still the kid that didn't take our garbage out when I was saying, hey,
you let me drive to the dump at 14. Listen, at the time I thought it was like a privilege. Yeah. Now I realize it wasn't.
I was the cop. The guy with the badge. But anyway, now you. I can't say.
I flustered him.
First of all, our viewership numbers today, I woke up and said, well, I don't know. We'll see. Our viewership numbers, even though you see that number there, that's a culmination. There's a big thing. Our viewership numbers this morning are as big as they've ever been. I was kind of worried about that. Man, did we travel well last night, Chuck?
Oh, we always do.
Chuck, you had to be there. Now, it was hilarious because I got there. I was there 35 minutes before you guys showed up. Sitting at the 50-yard line on the top. And if you go back and look at the Tuscola Football Network, I've got the little thing saying, hey, it's just me and my poor wife that I drug out there. And I just took a video of the empty stands and me in the empty stadium. But our guys
I'm not
traveled.
surprised.
Our fans were phenomenal. One of my biggest fears personally, and look, they're always out there. Even if you're sitting here at 5-0, there's always the few. But anyway, my biggest fear is how do people react when last night was inevitable. When you're as beat up as you guys are, those things are going to happen. But how are they going to react? I'm telling you, our fans are positive. Our support system is off the charts. They understand. They see how the kids are reacting. Uh, uh, I was so encouraged because again, the one person last night that was a turd was me, and and that was not towards our folks. That was towards people that I should have kept my big mouth shut against the referees. But that's just being an idiot. But man, we traveled so well. They were loud. Ebbs and flows of the game. Look, uh, we even late in the game, we were still kind of in the game. Had a
Yeah.
chance, and our fans never left. And it was really good to see. And it's really good to see all the even here we're at 2-3. The positivity around the program, the positivity around the kids, the positivity that they're giving you.
Well, I'm just going to say real quick. This is the definition of our team. We're about to kick an onside kick. And side note, really good onside kick by Christopher Wells. And just call it like it is.
Yes.
Kid made a good play. That's side note. But right before that, we're huddling up. And obviously, yes, we have an onside kick team and all this stuff. One of the kids that stepped up huge last night, Bridger Jones, number 3.
Absolutely.
But and side note, good luck to him. He's actually in the midst of it right now in his fishing tournament.
That's right.
Oh no, hey, I'm gonna tell you. I told him, listen, I'm 5 seconds. I don't catch fish. I want to cruise. Right. I mean, I just want to cruise the lake at that point. He is a tremendous fisherman. Went to a scouting combine last week in Alabama for fishing for college. Like he's the deal.
That's unbelievable.
So
yes.
Good luck to
His
him right now.
grandfather's come down here.
I mean, he's also 3 hours and 37 minutes into it, but good luck to Bridger Day in his bass tournament or his fishing tournament. But comes up and goes, Coach, let me go. I'll get it. KJ Vane, number 14 coach, just put me on Haynes' team. I'll be around the ball. I'll go get it. That's what our team is. It's not just okay. We have a Haynes team. It's guys going. Let it fall on me. And though that's what I'm trying to say is like, man, we're
going to be okay.
We've got such a good core nucleus, and I've told them all this before. My biggest want is I just wish I could coach this exact same team for 2 years with the seniors and everything. I really do. Because if I had this exact same group with seniors, juniors, just like they are for 2 years, oh man, it would be tremendous. And obviously that's a want in life we'll never have. But that tells you, and I'm not saying that from the football side. We got a great group of kids that battle their ass off day in, day out. Excuse my language, but man, that's just what it is. They do. That love each other, support each other. You know, in football, they call it going to war for each other, right? Being in your foxhole. There's not another group of kids that I want to have in my foxhole than the ones we got right now. That's for sure. And I don't say that lightly because there's always years and teams that you go, you know, I wish I had this one or this one. I don't. This group of kids, all the way down to the freshmen. Because I'm gonna tell you, we got some dogs that are freshmen, just mentality wise. I would not rather be in any situation with any other team than the one I'm with.
Well, you could probably put in that play with Mishawah and call it the Mishawah special and use it anytime because he probably going around school and we went 70 years. The Mishawah special.
He's because he's going to want a 20 number at practice Monday.
Hey,
He's
you know
going, where's my jersey, coach?
Well, he is 50. I can just put some tape on it. Put some tape on it, just rip it off when we need to go 50s and 20s.
And I guess the bottom line is they're going to be okay.
Yep.
They're going to be okay. You guys are going to be okay.
Positive is we woke up this morning. The sun came up this morning. And listen, I'm as hard on myself as anybody. You know what was really cool last night, though? And I'm going to call this kid out. Not negatively, don't worry. I'm sitting in my office, and every day, this same kid. Well, they all say bye as they're leaving. But it's always the same one goes, all right, see you, coach. Thanks, man. See you tomorrow. All right. See, have a great day. Or, after practice. All right. I'm in my office with my door 98% shut, sitting there sulking for a few minutes because,
No, you were mad.
Well, yeah.
You weren't sulking. You were angry.
And he goes, and I apologized to him. I said, man, I'm sorry. I should have done this and this just from the team perspective. And he goes, Coach, we're not perfect. We're human. We're never going to be perfect. And stop. I said, that's not how I said, I preach that, but my brain is I've got to be perfect in every situation. That's how my brain works. And he goes, I know. I said, well, one, that's why me and him are so much alike. I said, yeah. And I went, he goes, Coach, go to bed, wake up tomorrow. It's over. We got you. Our JV quarterback, Bo West. That's what we have. And it's not just him. Our kids have bought into what we preach. Right? It's just what it is. When you've got a player, much less a freshman, making sure they remind the head coach to practice what they preach. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sulk on it tonight, get up tomorrow, it's over, go about our day, go about our business, get better. I think we're in pretty good hands for the future. I'll say it that way.
Great. That's great. Well, that's all I got. Game. I mean, we got.
Let me do this real quick, and we're really positive show. Last night stunk, but it's over.
Yeah,
we're gonna move on.
Nothing I can do about it now.
But
I promise you, if there were things we could do over, yes, it's always the hindsight's 2020. I would change this and this and this, but
let me
part of it.
Let me do this. This is almost a cryptic thing, okay? But
now I'm confused. What do you got?
So, like here, when you do this, okay, when you do when you took this job and you came to me and said we have to have this coaches show, and it's not about me, but it's about our program and blah blah blah, and then you talked to Chuck and I, so you put yourself out there, and everybody knows who we are. You know what I'm saying? And with there's the good, there's the bad, and there's the ugly, and
always going to be,
and you got to deal with it.
Yep.
But everybody knows Chuck's name, right? Everybody knows your name. Everybody knows my name.
Macon County knows my name.
Are you with me so far? Are you with me so far?
Yeah. I'm curious where you're going with this.
Well, let me just say two things. And understand, I've been at this a long time, and I understand about hiding behind things. And again, this is just a personal thing. Hello, Veer and Shoot. Come see me. I just want to say hey. Hello, Black Bear 95. Screen name. What's up? I got you. We appreciate the support. That's all I got to say.
I could say something, but I won't.
That's all I got to say. That's all.
Screen
names.
If you want to be cryptic, I can
be
cryptic, but I won't.
This is not for you. This is for me. Screen names. That's Chuck. That's John. That's David.
Well, we'll say
one of those, the stuff that when you took this job.
In case you're wondering, and I will never say it, but one of those knows me personally, and I know who it is.
Okay. Well, I did not know. And it's, again, just good morning to you all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Because
I don't read that stuff. It ain't no point.
But here's the thing. No,
But-
let's
no,
just
no,
say
no.
this. Get your shots in
No.
because I'm going to be the Tuscola guy here. You better get them now.
Hey, listen, it's all good.
Okay.
Look, people have behind screen names all day long. No, it's always going to be that way. It'll never, from here on out until technology is done, it'll never change.
Yep.
It's all good because the bottom line is what they say doesn't matter. And for anybody in the negative light, because like I said on the halftime and post-game show for Tennessee last week, for the people that do most of those things, and I'm just going to be honest here, that do most of those things never did it.
So
I'm not being rude. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just saying, just in general, and some people do it just to get a rise out of people. Man, I don't have the time in the day to do that stuff. So
anyway,
it's all good.
That wasn't meant for you.
Bottom line is
we're building something special here.
We've got a great fan base. We've got phenomenal kids with families that support us in our program. That's all I give a crap about.
Yeah. So anyway, homecoming, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're planning the big bonfire for the rivalry game.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about that, and we got a few minutes left. And this is the part where you two are always wrong and I'm always right. Okay, this is where you two are just so wrong, so wrong.
Let's see.
Clemson, Florida State, noon. Clemson, South Carolina. We talked about it. You can't talk. I don't know. Chuck knows. Mr. Gambling Machine there who saved life and limb last night. You don't know when Chuck and I were talking on the phone last night. He said, I have to go. And he hung up the phone. Something bad had happened at the place he's security at.
Well, no, but who's favored in that game?
I think Clint. I don't know.
Florida State -2.
Okay. -2?
Yeah.
But I don't go by the point stuff. I just go winner and loser because I'm not. But I think it's going to be a close football game, and
I'm gonna call it.
Dabo's going to have them ready.
I'm gonna call it. It's not Clemson, Florida State. But we're gonna get a wide left. Old school Florida State, Miami. Somebody's going wide left and lose it.
Okay.
I'm not calling
wide right.
Wide right. That's fine with me.
Okay, who's winning the football game, Chuck?
Clemson.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know who's winning. I'm just going. We're going to miss field goal to lose it.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
That's interesting about that because notoriously missing wide left and right, having a history of that has been Florida State. That's an interesting.
Well, and it has been. I don't know. I think it'll be a close game. Is what I'm getting at, and I think it will come down to a field goal at the end, to either go to OT or win it. And I don't think it's made.
Well, I always use and it's not 100%, accurate, but it does produce a lot of wins for me, and that is you watch all week, and it is the media factor. When the media is jumping all over Florida State, every pundit, every football talk show, it's Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. And then I'm sitting there going, then I'm playing contrarian, and I'm going that Clemson's going to win this football game. They got the team for it. They just haven't clicked. Everybody dogged them on losing to Duke. They should have lost, but
Duke is a much better team than people are giving Duke credit for.
Right.
I mean, they are. They really are, or at least early on. Now, I guess now they're starting to talk about it, but week one, I mean, they play good football down there right now. They do. Right. They really are.
Other matchups.
Roll.
Other matchups, Chuck, because this is the fun part where we can just kind of roll the last 15 minutes.
I don't have the
Chuck, Notre Dame, Ohio State. Who you got?
Can they both lose?
I was waiting on it. You're not going to root for Notre Dame because of Hartman?
No.
Okay.
Hartman
there was no hesitation in that either.
Hartman should be, he's a COVID player. We still got, I think, one more year of the COVID players that are 23, 24, 25. Hartman's, 37 years old, playing that game. He could be in the Wake Forest uniform. But anyhow, he's not. And
same-ish colors, like ish, depending on, it's close.
Just a little darker navy than, make it black. But, be that as it may. I have never been a Notre Dame fan, and you know how I feel about those guys in Columbus. So
you love them, right?
Yeah, I love them all right. Yeah, I got them. But with that being said, I'm going to root for both of them to lose.
Georgia Tech, Wake Forest.
Boy, I tell you what, after the pterodactyl egg that they laid last week in Old Dominion, this is going to be a closer game than what people. This is just not a quick fix it. We've got some issues at many points, many positions on the field at Wake Forest. So, but I'm going to give them, because they're home against Georgia Tech, I'm going to give the Deacons the slight edge in this.
I'm rooting for Wake.
Okay.
The media game of the week, Ole Miss, Alabama.
Oh, we were getting there.
That's just from the media perspective. That's what everybody you can't, polar opposites. You got to love it.
Who are you going for then?
Ole Miss.
But listen, man, I don't think anybody in the Crompton household at all ever can say they're rooting for Alabama or Florida ever.
Well, and that's good reason. And
it's ingrained in your head that those are
right.
And don't get me wrong, it's not. I do not like Ole Miss, but I'd rather Ole Miss win than Alabama win this week. That's for sure.
But you have a fond affection for the man that runs Ole Miss.
Exactly.
Okay, and you want him. But I'm going to tell you that media dump all week long's been on Bama. Oh, they're bad. Bama.
Well, and that's kind of I feel like Ole Miss is set up for a double-edged sword, meaning if they win, they're going, oh, well, it's not the typical Alabama, or if they lose, they're like, oh, Alabama's back, I feel like it's not, I don't feel like it's an even media coverage here, but that's just.
And then we got Colorado at Oregon.
Is that the late game?
No, here's the deal.
3:30.
3:30 kickoff. 3:30 kickoff on ABC. Alabama Ole Miss 3:30 kickoff on CBS. Nobody beats the SEC in the ratings at the 3:30 game.
They will this week.
I think today
they will.
ABC rules, and I think that. But I think Oregon wins the football game. I don't want to hear from you two. I don't.
Well, no, I agree, and the main reason I'm saying that is because Travis Hunter's not playing. He's their overall just threat offensively and defensively. With him not playing, they don't have enough depth yet in my mind at Colorado to compete with Oregon that's been doing this year in, year out and just reloading. I think Oregon wins.
I have said last, was it Tuesday or Thursday when we were going over this? This is one game where I think, the kids at Colorado on the road, there's some magic happening, and I'm not convinced Oregon is the real deal, a top 10 team, and I'm going Colorado in a stunner. They're underdogs 21.
I'll be honest with you, I'm rooting for Colorado.
Right.
Side note, did y'all see Oregon's cleats?
No.
They came out with a new cleat. They are they are temperature controlled now. Like, so by the heat, they change colors. Promise, look it up.
That's a mood ring when we were kids.
They broke them out I promise you, they broke them out this game.
All of you guys did the same age around Chucky and I, and all the girls were wearing the mood rings.
I know.
Come on.
I'm just telling you what Oregon's doing.
I was always looking for that girl with the red mood ring.
You bet, Sophie. That's before I knew Janet. I would have said, please, turn red.
If they had blue, my buddies and I go, no, don't bother with her. But you and your cleats and your dress, and you are dad's son. That's all I can
I'm
say.
just going with, because Oregon's social media, they made, obviously, Oregon, and they're always the flashiest uniform and all that. They that'll be. I'm curious on how they look during the game. But guess what? They do it because it gets people talking about them. They're not dumb.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're not dumb in that sense. It's just a pair of cleats. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they got a lot of coverage on that this week, as they should, because it's a brand new thing.
And let me ask you guys this: Rutgers at Michigan, and Michigan's going to roll. Is Coach Harbaugh back tonight, or is this the last week? I don't remember.
Yeah. No, he's back.
Okay.
It's like, he's back, and he's did his time and time out. He's paid his dues for buying
Cheeseburgers.
I'm sorry, cheeseburgers.
Unbelievable.
That's what got him. Was the cheese. That's against NCAA. If he'd have bought hamburgers, then that would have been, okay.
So I enjoy the last few minutes because we can just kind of relax a little bit and just roll. So, hey, we're going to get off here in just a second because you got to go do your thing. I've got to open up. I got a whole day worth of stuff down here. Go drink. Please go to Orchard Coffee. Please go see our friends at Orchard Coffee. Please go see our friends at Sutton and Sons Antiques, because I am going there today, and they are open 363 days a year. The only days they're closed, I want to tell you, are Christmas, and if I'm mistaken, my friend, let me know. I think Christmas and Thanksgiving are the only 2 days that they're closed.
That's good to know.
And just the neatest stuff. And again, our Orchard Coffee. Chuck has sat here and drank a whole pot of Orchard Coffee, and so anyway, we want to thank everybody. Going to be a great week. We're gonna I'm proud of your kids. I'm proud of the program. I'm so tickled with the fan base. You guys are building something special. The record is what it is, but there's a lot of football left to be played.
Oh, a lot. And still have the season.
Just I'm just hoping and praying that we can get healthy. And I'm not making excuses. Let's just get healthy and see where we are.
Yeah.
And Chuck and I will be back here on Tuesday night with a special guest. We're going to talk Mountain 7 football. We're going to talk the review of this past week. We're going to talk preview of this coming week. We're going to talk college football. We're going to talk bonfire. We're going to talk the Baltimore Orioles. Yes. Hopefully we can have.
Can I interrupt something? Because I sent us a group text, and Jimmy Arrington and a few guys went up to go see Marty Clark. Everybody knows who Marty Clark is.
Thank you, Chuck.
And Coach Crompton gave them a bucket hat that the coaches wear and made him a honorary coach for the year. Well, when they got up there in Indiana, they gave Marty, they got in and they said, Marty, we're here. And they said Marty opened his eyes, and you could feel he was a light squeeze, a gentle squeeze of the hand, that he knew that they were there. And they said, Coach Crompton has given you this hat and making you the honorary coach for Tuscola this year. And Marty squeezed her hand, and they put the bucket hat on him. Within 5 minutes, he took 2 breaths and passed away. But he passed away with a bucket hat on. So I give you, Jonathan, Coach Crompton, to do something special like that. That meant a lot. I can't believe it. It meant a lot to that kid, that young man.
That's what I was telling the team last night a little bit, is I don't have that hat on that I was wearing, but it's just our power tee on it. And so guys, you'll realize one day this means more than you know, right? It's right there. I mean, it means more than just Tuscola High School in 2023. Like, it runs deep. So, you know, we gave the message to the boys last night before the game, and you know, our condolences to everybody that, you know, his family and friends and everybody knew him, because you never want that to happen. But you know, we're thankful that we can be a part of the process, and hopefully help in healing.
Yeah, that was pretty. Just to be honest with you, that's pretty powerful. To when you know, I don't know. I better quit before I cry like a baby. So we will see everybody Tuesday night. Chuck, as always, on Saturdays, hang around. I'm sure we're going to have some real animated discussions that people, if they were here, it's really fun. It's really fun. It's better than the show, and the show's pretty darn good, I think. So anyway,
It's not
thank
anywhere.
you.
So
Homecoming. Hopefully, we're going to be back here next week. Get back to 500. Head on the road where we want to be. Go Mountaineers. Thank you for the support. We will see everybody. Have a great week. And Chuck and I will see you guys Tuesday. God bless.